two main subjects I would like to talk with you before I start the video for today. One of them related to the topic of the video for today, but I will start with the second. Since yesterday and today, my wife and I discussed together to change the t-shirt, and she disliked the other t-shirt, so she told me that I have to change my t-shirt for today, for the video of today. So I changed it for this color I love. This is the first point. This is the second point, sorry. The first point is the climate, which is changed now all over Egypt. Today, for example, or this month of the year, almost is cool weather, but suddenly we found that it is warm weather, which is strange for me. The climate changed all over the world, as I know, as all of you know, which is very strange or scary. I am afraid, scared for the next year and the years later, what is going on actually, which is strange, and I don't know what will happen through the future. The video of today, I will talk about the body and how we understand our body in the Oriental dancing steps, or during or through the Oriental dancing steps, regarding to main point that happened this week with me. Let us start now and see together what's going on. This week I was reviewing a discussion with a doctor, specialist in anthropology in the American University in Lebanon. The reporter asked her about the origin of Oriental dancing, and also asked her about if we can trace the dance steps throughout the history. Her answer was difficult to trace the dance steps throughout the history, regarding to our bodies are equal all over the world, and many other discussions they said together or they discussed together. It was very strange for me because it is so easy to understand or to know exactly how we can tracing the dance steps throughout the history, through the culture, which is very easy like that, but was strange from her to say something like this. We have a book, very important book, which it is actually the Kinesics and Context. This book is very important for all of us. We have to read about it. One of the important books, actually. It is from the Birdwessel. Dr. Birdwessel, he wrote this book and he helped me to do this point, actually, how I can trace the steps throughout the history. This book talking about the body motion communication. And this book, it is from the University in Pennsylvania. It is very easy to understand the difference between bodies or between people through their communication, which can lead us to understand exactly every society with their communication through the steps. These steps, we use it in the end through our dancing. It is like that. And of course, there are three main points or three main topics can affect our dancing: the geographical area, the climate, and the habits and belief. He mentioned the geographical area, but didn't mention the climate. All these points and also his theories I used through my research in dancing. In the geographical area, this point help us to understand the difference between the high steps and the low steps, the lower steps. When I'm using my legs dancing or do some steps using my legs higher or lower, something like this. So this helped me to understand these people or this society coming from this area or that area, and so on and so on. The same also with the climate, same as I explained you from the beginning of this video about the climate changing now in Egypt and of course all over the world. Climate also affected our dancing. For example, in Asia, you can find North Asia, the dancers dancing very fast than in Middle Asia, and of course more than in North Africa. Why? Because of the weather. When the weather is cold, you you find yourself dancing faster to feel warm, and when the weather is very hot or hot weather, immediately you will find yourself move slower to not lose your power. So this is also affected our dance steps in folk dancing. It is the same everywhere all over the world. It depends of the climate. Also the habits and belief. You can find yourself do your dance steps through your habits, or the habits affected your dance steps and beliefs. Yes, also. For example, in the middle of Asia, you will find people dancing in a very slow way with this shape or with this form. Why? Because of their habits and their beliefs let them do something like this. Egypt is in the middle of the world, as all of us we know. For this reason, and the climate also in Egypt was before was in the middle, not very cold and not very hot, which lead us to do our dance steps with this way. You know exactly, we are in the middle. We don't dance so fast or so slow. So this is exactly the main point which can lead us to understand the difference between the same step but with different societies. Why people do this fast than the others, this step fast than the others, and so on and so on. This is one of the main points can let us understand exactly our bodies through our dance steps. Also the Oriental dancing, of course I cannot say that the Oriental dancing belongs to us or belongs to this area or that area or something like this. This is not so easy, because Oriental dancing, the word explain itself. Oriental dancing, Oriental coming from the Orient. So a lot of dancers from the Orient, each one of them created something or brought something from her culture, and they gathered all these type of dance steps together in this or in these choreographies, which we call it in the end Oriental dancing. This is exactly very quickly the meaning of the Oriental dancing, and how we can tell the origin, say the origin of Oriental dancing belongs to all the Orient. This is what I explained before, and of course I like to share it, yes, also with you. One main point we have to keep in mind all the time, the balance line which passes through the middle of our bodies. This balance line, very important to let us do the correct steps. The balance line move through the middle, passes through the middle of our bodies to the ground, and it's located between the heels of us. So when this balance go out or back, we cannot do some steps. When this balance go to the front, we can do another steps, or we can move by another steps. This is exactly, we can find it between the shorter ones and the taller ones. In the middle of Asia, or the people who came from the middle of Asia, from the Far East, we can say, we can find them do some steps belongs to them, and sometimes they cannot do the correct steps, same as we say correct steps belongs to us. It is not correct or wrong steps. It belongs to our bodies, belongs to this balance, the balance line, what I told you. The shorter ones, they cannot do all the steps we can do. It is exactly vice versa. We cannot do all the steps the shorter ones can do. Like that. For this reason, we have to keep in mind all the time when we're going to create our choreographies, the dancers in front of us, we have to understand the anatomy, their bodies, to create the correct steps which they will use, if they are shorter ones or taller ones. This also can help us throughout the history to understand the steps and to know exactly from where it comes from. All these points help us a lot to understand the origin of the dance step, and in the end to tell us exactly from where it comes from, and of course in the end to show us the Oriental dancing and the beautiful dance steps we are using. This was exactly the main points which I love to share with you, and my next video it will be about the main elements affecting our dance steps, like the geographical area, the climate, the habits and beliefs. For this reason, if this is first time you watch this video, or this is the first time visiting the channel, make sure to click the subscribe button below and hit the bell to receive my next video. If we come back again to the Oriental dancing and the dance steps, as I told you before, it is starting with the Jawari. When they created each one of them, she put her fingerprint or footprint to this type of dance when she brought one or two or many dance steps from her culture, and they gathered all these together to create our wonderful Oriental dancing in the last, what we are using now. This was my video for today, which I hope you like it, and of course, if you have any comment or any question, please write me down or send them to me. Thank you very much, and see you very soon again in the next video.